right. What's happening, my friends? I am back in Connecticut. Let's see if I can get the screen good. In my friend Lauren's house, who has perfect lighting. I think that's true. Let's see if, as I back up, if it changes. A bit. Okay. So we are going to get through a pretty dynamic practice today with a lot of balancing poses as well, just like the Libra practice I put up 2 weeks ago or last week, to look at these two opposing energies of Aries and Libra for this full moon in Aries. It is supercharged, and Aries is ruled by Mars, the god of war. It's a fiery energy to begin with, and it's about the self. In low frequencies, it can show up as being selfish, abrasive, rough, kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for in my brain? Sorry, it's not coming to me. But it's like that fiery energy. It's a fire sign. It'll fight with fire. That's really the description of the word that I can't find in my brain. So it's also a high frequency looking to live with purpose and has that initiator energy of beginning again over and over and over as many times as we need to realign with purpose. So it's a passionate sign. It's our masculine energy. It's about doing, not thinking. It's like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to act, and then think later, right? And that can get us into trouble. So on the opposite of that, we have Libra. Libra is the balancer, the peacemaker, wants to be in partnerships, wants to look to the other, wants to build community, wants to, partner up. And it also has this like very balanced contractual energy to it. Like what's good for the whole, and like, let's partner up and like build a contract that's both mutually agreeable. Both have low frequencies. So Aries low frequency is frustration and anger because we're not living in truth or aligned with our purpose. Libra's low frequencies are people pleasing, denying your own needs for the needs of others, and really, giving away your power. Like Aries is going to take as much power and Libra's going to give all the power. So how do we find that place in the middle? We're always looking to seek balance, right? So I have some blocks here. We're maybe going to want the help when we start to balance on one leg. We're going to balance on one leg to help our contemplation see where we're out of balance the most. Our body, left and right, can be reflective of masculine and feminine. So the left side of our body is the feminine, and the moon, and the right side is the masculine and the sun. Okay, so interestingly, we have sun in Libra and moon in Aries. So they're already flipped. So that's going to be an interesting little energetic thing for us to think about today. But we're going to actually start on our backs. So impulsive, that was the word I wanted for Aries. It can be impulsive. So come on to your back. Maybe you want something under your head if it's uncomfortable to drop your head back, or maybe even something under the upper ribs so that the exaggerated curvatures of your spine on the ground allow your head to be more free and relaxed without anything underneath it. But you get yourself comfortable on your back. Let's see. This practice will be really about this duality within us. So all the contemplative cues that I'll offer don't have definitive questions, don't have definitive answers. It's, what's best for you. So do that in the physical practice, do that in the mental practice, have compassion, always come back to a place of security, knowing that even if nothing or no answer comes when you ask yourself these things, that asking is enough and the most important thing. And that deep inside your higher self knows those answers. So we're conditioned to not trust that place within us. We might not even have a connection to it. We might not hear that. So the more we slow down, the more we get away from our distractions, the more we can hear our intuitive guidance, or that little voice in your head that is the wise knower of all things best for you, right? We have a lot of voices in our heads, especially if you're an air sign. So let's start by just having self-compassion and trust that you know what's best for you. So on the back, make sure your lower back is comfortable. If it's not, you might prop something under the knees and just give yourself a few moments of stillness here on your back. And you can take your hands palm down on the lower belly. We're going to take the physical practice not only through some balancing poses, but also focused on the pelvis. The energy of the pelvis is the sacral chakra, or the Svadhisthana. It is the house of emotions and relationships. It's where our masculine and feminine energy come together and swirl around. So that's why I chose this today. It's also the center of our body. Everything attaches to the pelvis in some shape or form. So starting to feel not only your pelvic bowl here and your lower belly, maybe some emotion, how you've been feeling lately. I was talking to my daughter Zoe yesterday, and we were both saying, like, I don't particularly have something that, or one event that is weighing on my shoulders, but I just feel sad. That's moon energy. It just pulls emotion up so that we can meet it. So as you connect palm down, let that help ground you to what you're feeling. And then we're going to do some breathing together. I'm going to give you some options. So a few moments of stillness and quiet for you to access how you're feeling, gather information. Where's there tension, discomfort, or any pain? What emotions have you been feeling? What is present right now? And then taking that information to decide what type of breathing you want to do. Your choices are to balance the breath. If you feel like I am overwhelmed and I just want to focus on balancing, you're going to equalize the amount of time you take your inhale and exhale. And then you have a choice to also then add in a retention at the height and fullness of your inhalation for the same amount of time, and the depth and of the emptiness in the exhalation. So I suggest 4 counts. 4 count inhale, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold out for 4. And if the retentions don't feel good, let them go. If you feel like you're overwhelmed and you need to de-stress a little bit more to help you find the balance, you're going to breathe in for 4 and out for 8. You also have an option to retain the breath in for a count of 7. So inhale for 4, retain for 7, exhale for 8. And again, if the retention doesn't feel good, let it go. Okay, so you can try one and see how it goes. Switch if you want. You're in control here. And we'll begin. I'm just going to let you do you with that in quiet. So just noticing how some physiological shifts can happen with conscious breathing, whether you're balancing it to equal parts or extending the exhalation for the double amount of time it takes to breathe in. Notice what shifts and changes. About halfway through the amount of time we're going to take for this. Few more rounds. Scan for resistance and body tension. If you can see the breath move to that space. And then wherever you are on your rhythm of breath, after your last or next exhale, return to a regular, more automatic breath. And again, just notice how you feel and what changed and shifted. And then go ahead and flex your left foot so your toes and knee face the ceiling, and grab your right knee in and give it a squeeze. And then a little rock of the right knee side to side or circle it, but pay attention to the ball and socket of this joint and how it feels. The action of your left ankle is helping you stay more stable and grounded. Seeking balance today between self and others or the world, or opposites. So, a strong left foundation here is helping the right move around. Go ahead and switch sides. Right leg long on the mat. Flex your ankle. Hug the left knee in. Start to move slowly. How does the side feel in comparison to the other without judging it? Just make a little mental note. It can be better or worse without having the negative judgment to it. Tighter, more free, happier, whatever. Gray area terminology. Go ahead and pull the right knee in to join. And again, they can move together, side to side, or separately. Circle together or separately. Feel how the movement of your knees is still affecting the hip joints. And also maybe now the lower back on the ground. Does it feel nice? Give yourself a little massage. All right, now we're going to start to rock the length of the spine. So you're going to lift your feet a little bit to grab the backs of the thighs and let your feet pull toward the floor. A little bit, get this rock going. If this doesn't feel good, you're just going to get to your feet any way that works for you. If this feels good, give yourself some time with it, thinking about building momentum to get to your feet. And when you feel like you're ready, you're going to let go of your thighs, let your arms reach further of your feet to help pull your hips up off the floor as you reach your feet. So we'll go into chair pose. Ready? Here we go. One more time here. Right, so let the seat reach back. Check in on the feet. My feet didn't land nice and in alignment with each other, so I'm going to widen them. I like wide feet here for chair pose. You might like them different. Right? Feel your heels root down, the ball mounds root down, the sit bone lift, tail lift up a little bit. Then feel the energy of your feet go wide. So the outer hip fires up. Notice the weight right to left, if you can try to balance any asymmetry there. And then from your tail lifting, hug through the belly, hug through the ribs, take the shoulder blades more toward each other. Arms can go anywhere you want, on the legs for support, on the hips. Wherever your arms are, feel like the arm bone is not collapsing forward into the chest, that it's set back and down into the socket. 2 more breaths. Come to stand, both hands on the heart. Feel connected again to the floor and any bad habit we have. For me, my arches collapse, my knees knock together, and my hips go forward. Then that affects negatively through the rest of the spine. So feel the 4 corners of your feet, lift up through the arches, lift up through the kneecaps, bring the hips right on top of the heels, hug through the midline, with palm over palm on the heart, shoulder blades flat on the back, a little engagement of those upper back muscles, throat pulling back, maybe aligning the head over the shoulders instead of in front of the chest as well. You'll do our best to find this neutral alignment. And a deep breath. And information now to set your intention. Balancing the masculine and feminine within us. Do you have good boundaries that give you a sense of safety in your life? Do you also allow people in and to even help you when you need it? Do you ask for help when you need it? Are you a people pleaser, always saying yes? Right? Look at where you say yes and no, and if that is in alignment with living safely for you in passion and purpose. Aries wants to find our passion and stay aligned with that. Libra wants to bring in people to share it and to be of benefit to them. 3 breaths here, really refining your intention around this masculine, feminine balance for you. Again, your right foot and left foot can maybe help figure some things out. Again, left is feminine, right is masculine. If you can see your intention as an image in your mind and then feel yourself living that image. Be there, feel yourself there. These are all little energetic tricks to create more and different synapses in the brain, to help us get out of conditioning and the ruts that keep us in cycled patterns, right? So see it, feel it, believe it. And then on your exhale, release the hands. Inhale, reach out and up. Grab your right wrist, lift and lean to the left. Keep the hips back, legs toned. Inhale, come up to center. Grab your left, lift and lean right. Or do this 2 more times with your breath. Inhale, center. Switch wrist, exhale, left. Inhale, center. Switch wrist, exhale, right. 1 more time. Inhale, center. Exhale, release the hands. From the top of your mat, we're going to step into the right foot and draw the left knee up. So how is it to balance on our right foot right now? Do you want to go to the wall and grab some help? And then how do you feel about asking for help? Notice again, if you disconnect muscular energy and focus on pushing the hips forward and leaning back, tone up the leg muscles, bring the right thigh back, stack it on the heel, And then now see if the left knee can come in a bit tighter. My arms are just doing whatever necessary to keep me balanced. Keep the core engaged and the shoulders relaxed out of the neck. Right hand to the hip, we're going to grab the left ankle and just give ourselves a nice quad stretch. Keeping the knees and hips aligned with each other. Again, muscular tone through the right leg, rooted through the foot, long and lifted through the crown. If you want more sensation, scoop the tail under. Gently step into the left foot, root through the four corners, tone the leg, right knee comes up. So my left ankle is my injured ankle if you've been practicing with me now for a few weeks. It was a bad sprain, it's still healing, but this is all good work. How does your left foot feel? Compare it to the right. Again, gray area terminology. Try not to go black and white. Push through the left, push the left hip back, grow tall. See if that right knee can come in tighter. Left hand to the hip, grab the right ankle, find our quad stretch. Try not to collapse into the left hip. Maybe you scoop the tail, giving yourself more sensation. All right, release the right foot, step down into that. Really pay attention to your root and connection. We're going to slide the left foot back to warrior one. So I like a shorter stance and my feet pretty wide, so my hips comfortably square the front of the mat. You find the foundation of your feet that helps your hips square as comfortably forward as you can. Then let go of any judgment or, it should be this, that, or the other thing, right? Let go of that kind of thinking. We're finding and seeking balance today. And then, of course, the way that the mind works in that. Anchor through the left pinky edge, tone the left quad, pull up through the hips. We're going to take right hand down, left arm up and over, behind the head, push back. Feel from your left foot to your elbow, you're lifting and pulling to the right. Inhale, come to center, press the right leg straight, hinge and fold, Parsvottanasana. Feel your right hip move back, squaring the left, hug up through the belly, the shoulder blades to the spine, chin to the throat, get nice and long and neutral through the spine. You have your blocks right here. Maybe come down to blocks. If the blocks are still too far away, come up the leg. 2 more breaths. Left hand either under the shoulder on a block or maybe on your hip if the block is too far away, or crossed outside the right foot, floor or a block, to twist now right hip back, right ribs up, maybe the right arm goes up, for revolve triangle, Parivrtta Trikonasana. Notice the hips, are they over to the right? See if the right hip can draw back. Tone the legs, hug through the spine and the core to twist up. It's an intense pose, be in that intensity. It's a balancing twist. Check in, how are you meeting that? Big breath. Soften the right knee, unwrap the twist, crawl your blocks or hands forward. Step left foot to meet your right. Inhale, flat back, pause here. Notice right and left legs. Right, we just did that nice stretch for the right hamstring. Notice the left one. Hug through the midline, soften the knees with a straight spine. Inhale to stand, pick up the right foot, slide it back to warrior one. Do your best to find the foundation of your feet to square your hips forward. Firmly planted the right pinky edge, pull up through the hip point in the front of the hip. See how much you can get a neutral pelvic alignment with our feet doing different things. Left hand down, right arm up and over to the left. Bend your elbow, press back into your arm. Relax your left side. From your right foot, lift up through your elbow, lean left. Check in on the hips. Do your best to find balance here. And your breath. 2 more. Inhale, come up to center. Left leg goes straight. Hinge and fold. So my ankle doesn't love this shape. I'm going to keep my knee a little bit bent. But try to get your left leg super straight, strong, toned quad. Left hip drawing back. Hips still squaring the front of the room. Notice what the spine is doing from there. Shoulder blades to the midline are going to help ribs square the hips. Right? And also open the chest. And strengthen the upper back. Breathe as you hinge and fold. Maybe you have your blocks. I'm just going to flex my foot a little bit. It helps my hamstring stretch. You could do that as well. That also gives my ankle a little bit more comfort. I'm sharing this with you so that you have that same invitation. How am I feeling here? And what do I innately, inherently know to make myself more comfortable here? All right hand to the block, the floor, or maybe your hip, or cross it over. Feel the left hip draw back to initiate your twist. Left arm can lift for revolve triangle. If it's intense, find the place where you're meeting your sweet spot, that balance of effort and ease, just like we talked about in our Libra practice. We're still accessing our Libra energy here to help balance the fire, personal development, maybe a low frequency where we get lost in ourselves. Big breath. Soften the left knee, unwrap the twist, walk your hands forward, step right foot forward. Legs toned and strong. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold at the hip crease a little bit deeper without rounding the upper back. 2 more like that. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, fold. Soften the knees. Inhale up to stand. Reach overhead. Grab your right wrist, lift up, lean left. Inhale up to center, grab your left wrist, lean right. Inhale up to center, same thing, right wrist, lean left, twist to the floor. Stay to the left, twist up to the sky. Come up to center, grab left wrist, lean right. Twist to the floor. Feels so nice in the lower back. Inhale up to the sky. And back to center, relax the arms anywhere that you feel that they're helpful to balance. We're going to step into the right foot. Draw the left knee up. See if I can just get myself a little bit more in. Find the balance. What do you have to do to create that in your body? Taking that information into life, right? Using our practice to help us live in better balance. Soften the right knee. We're going to step the left foot to the back of the mat. Spin the heel down and open to warrior 2. Oh, there's a mama deer and a baby deer in the backyard here laying down. So sweet. So front heel to back arch. What are the hips doing with our feet now here? And can the hips open to the long edge of the mat comfortably? See if the left hip can go down to level the right and then the floor, and then the left thigh back to bring left hip in line with the ankle. Then we can lunge deeper into the right knee, hug through the midline, open the arms to T, send your gaze over right arm. Here's our warrior 2. Very strong pose. Feel the fire in the legs holding you up. Feel the fire in the heart. Open left hand to right hand, or past to future. Current moment. How are you feeling? What is that warrior spirit? This full moon is going to illuminate your warrior pathway. Are you aligned with purpose, with passion? Or is your day just like going through the motions? Right? conditioned to produce, consume. Yoga helps us live differently. Take a moment to reflect. All right. We're going to tack the hips to the left and bring the right forearm down to the thigh and the left arm straight forward of the shoulder parallel to the ground. Firm up the legs. We're going to press the left thigh back. Your sit bones work a little bit behind you. Push into your right arm to lift your rib cage up. We're going to take left arm to the ear, shoulder blade to the spine, then down the back. Then push into your right arm and let the left arm open up your twist. Staying here with the left arm or flip your palm to the right and drive over ear. So you have that nice long diagonal straight line left side. Check in on the right shoulder. Pull it down. I like to spin my right arm forward. It helps that right shoulder externally rotate as well. And in this side angle shape, feel from your left foot to your left arm, you're reflecting into this feminine energy as an arrow of intention. Aries wants us, even though it's the masculine energy, Aries wants us to learn about ourselves. That's feminine energy of lunar cycles, right? Intuition. How do I know best for me? What's that arrow of intention? Inhale, come on up. Press the right leg straight, parallel right toes to left, and just see if one foot's forward of the other. Hands on the hips, lift your arm bones, squeeze your shoulder blades back, bend down, feel your elbows and maybe your thumbs go toward the spine. Lifting the chest, tone the quads. Inhale, lift the heart, maybe the gaze. Feel your thighs press back, spine straight to hinge at the hip creases. As far as you want to go, you'll feel your legs. Let the head drop when your legs don't want you to go anymore. Shoulder blades, thumbs, and elbows toward the midline. Exhale, release the hands. Wherever they drop, give them a little push toward the edge your toes are facing. As your tail lifts more to the sky, firm up your quads. Feel your feet press down. Feel the fire of your lower body and the crown dropping to the floor. Soften the knees. Press your arms straight if they're not already. Look forward. Take a moment. Hands up to the hips with a length, long spine. Inhale, come up to stand. Spin your left toes to the front of the mat. Any way to get the right foot to meet it. Shake out the legs. All right, step into the left foot. Hands anywhere in space, right knee comes up. I didn't say this yet. Bad teacher. Find a drishti point, a gazing point to focus on. That mental clarity gives your body stability. Think about that in life. When we are more clear in who we are and who we want to be and where we want to go, our life is more stable. Like we're more in alignment. We're held in that universal flow. We're more balanced. Soften the left knee, right foot steps back, front heel back arch. Setting up for warrior two, arms float up. Firm up the legs. What are the hips doing? Feel the right hip tug down to your best comfort ability, and then push back, hip to heel. Lunge into the left knee. From your feet, pull into the hips. From the hips, lengthen up through the crown. From your heart, extend through your hands. Send your gaze forward as you stay connected to the right arm, the past. Where are we going? What are we fighting for? And how do we fight? Another aspect of this energy is going to ask us to look at if we fight with force and fire, like Aries, or if we fight with words and air qualities of communication. Both have benefits and also negative aspects. They can work together in some way, shape, or form. Where is your discrepancy and anything out of balance? And again, what shift can we take to find that balance? Right, shift the hips to the right now. Left forearm down, right arm straight forward. Bring the thighs back a bit. Notice that changes sensation in your left leg. It has to work harder. That's going to be, I'm going to say, a good thing. Right arm up, right shoulder blade back, then down, right arm to the sky. Push into your left leg, lift, and open up the twist. Maybe your left hand goes forward. Maybe your right arm goes forward. Find that diagonal right line now. This right side is our arrow of the masculine energy of intention. You can think of that as, now what action can I take? Maybe that's a firmer boundary. Maybe that's a hard conversation to have. Right, masculine arrow of intention. Breathe into it. On your inhale, come on up. Parallel left toes to right. I have to adjust my feet so they're on the same line. This time, take a big breath, reaching out and up, and exhale, thighs go back, hands to the floor. You can have blocks if you want. We're going to keep the spine long. Feel your feet firmly planted, your arches lifted, kneecaps lifted, legs toned, sit bones lifted. Let the exhale deepen your hinge. We're going to crawl around to the left foot. You can angle the toes out if your ankle wants you to. Let the right hip dip down, right hand to the left leg, or a block or the floor, anywhere that feels good. You're going to inhale and lengthen the spine. Exhale, pull with your right hand, push with your left. Come into the hinge toward your left leg. And then my elbow hits the floor comfortably. It would be better on a block, so I'm just going to grab the block. Right? Anything goes, hand or elbow. Left hand's going to work up the left leg. Right hip dips down, let it come down. Let the hips shift in the twist. Left hand can go anywhere from here that you want on the sacrum, up in the air, around the back. Right. Feel right hand pull, left leg stretching. Feel what you feel here. And then let the head relax. Massage around the sacrum like I'm doing. It feels really nice. All right, soften down to center as you exhale. Just take a moment and pause. If you move the toes, bring them back parallel. Crawling around now to the right leg. Again, toes angle for your ankle to be comfortable. Crawl toward the foot. Let the left hip dip down. Left hand to the right leg or the floor, anywhere. Find a good place. My elbow or hand somewhat underneath the shoulder. Inhale, get long, lifted. Firm up the legs. Exhale, pull into your right leg. Right hand's going to work up the leg. Massage it. Decide where it wants to go to stay. Maybe it stays and massages. But push down into your left side. Pull with your left hand. Twist up to the right. Relax your head. Huge breath. And gently come back down to center. Move props out of the way. Inhale, find long spine, tone legs, pause. Hands up to the hips. Inhale with a straight spine. Right foot toward the front of the mat. Left foot steps to meet it. Shake it out. All right, let's get into some more balance poses. One leg Tadasana. Step into your right foot. Draw the left knee up. Notice if the hip comes off center. Step down into your right foot. Level the hips the best you can. When we do asymmetrical things with our legs, the pelvis adapts. Right? It's not bad, it's a good thing. But if we try to then get the hips back to neutral, the standing leg has to work more. And I, again, call that good. Right? We're training deep intrinsic muscles and forcing our ankle to work. When we stand on one leg, the littler glute muscles fire up and work. And Honestly, my ankle injury came from a weak little glute muscle. If you have a lot of consistent injury, chronic stuff going on, it's more of a deep intrinsic thing, generally speaking. I mean, it can be a million things, right? All right, keeping the knee at hip height, right hand to left knee, left hand can extend back as we twist to the left. I'm gonna give a little pull with my right hand, relax the shoulder, squeeze through the midline, and maybe point by point send my gaze all the way to my left thumb. Inhale back to center, step down, shake it out. Maybe roll your ankle a little bit. All right, rooting through the left foot, right knee comes up. Check. What's going on? Hip on heel, firm muscles in the legs, firm root through the foot. Hips might find a little more equal balance, right to left, to each other. Lengthen up through the crown, tone through the core, left hand to the knee, twist to the right, right arm extends back. Relax your shoulders, hug through the midline, push through your foot, grow tall through the spine. See if the gaze can shift, point by point. Woo. Inhale back to center, release, shake it out anyway, feels good. We're gonna do that again with maybe a different variation. So step into your right foot, left knee comes up. Hug through the midline, square the hips best you can. Maybe your left leg goes straight, and then right hand to the foot, pinky edge or calf, left hand twists back behind you. Holding the foot's a little bit more challenging. The hips are again gonna adapt. So when you get the foot, can that left hip go down? We did this standing. This is revolve triangle pose, a different relationship to gravity. We have a balance element now, or a harder balance element now. Meet it, take what's valuable and what resonates with you, leave the rest. Come back to center, shake it out. Right? We're just learning about ourselves. Right? That's what yoga is, a practice of self-discovery. Aries wants to know these things so that we can find a better life. It's the first sign of the zodiac. It's the first step. Maybe the right leg goes straight. See if you can grab the foot. You can hold any portion of the leg. It can stay bent. Can the right hip now go down again? Right arm back behind you. Breathe. Show you the side view here so you kind of see a little bit better. Come back to center. Shake it out. Release. What information is not serving your greatest good, and let that go. All right. Step into your right foot. Draw the left knee up. Did I say that right? Right foot, left knee. Figure 4, ankle to thigh. What are the hips doing in an asymmetrical pose? Can they square? Flex your left foot. Maybe push your right hand to your left foot. Notice if you do that, you feel more sensation, more action, more flexibility, more sensation, more benefit to a certain degree, right? My point is, if you're not feeling something enough, do something more. If you're feeling too much, do something less. Where's that sweet spot? Staying here. Sorry, your hands can be on blocks. We just assume you know that. We're going to come to standing pigeon. Grab your foot and knee. Come on up with it. Doesn't have to come super high. Maybe it does. Maybe your knee can come up into your armpit. Can the foot come up to the other armpit? Try it. See how it feels. If you're overextending your left shin, your right leg might bend and you might scoop under and lean back. It's more important for your right leg to stay strong and straight with your hip on the heel than it is to bring this left leg up high. All right, let go of that. Shake it out. Right ankle, left knee, figure 4. Woo. Find your root, your gazing point, your drishti, your balance, your breath. Left hand can go to right big toe and push. Feel your left sit bone Right sit bone lifting up. Decide what's best for this side. Maybe it's a standing pigeon. This is my shape on this side. Vastly different from the first side. It's okay. I'm not going to judge it or be mad at it. Just going to accept it. Breathe into it. One of the problems of modern yoga is that we do things equally side to side, and our bodies are not equal side to side. So in my personal practice, I work on those asymmetries. If you work with me one-on-one, we work on your asymmetries. Because life takes us out of balance every single day. So how does that manifest in our bodies? And then how do we meet those asymmetries? All right, come on down, shake that out. All right, so here's some options for you. You can do that again, or come to lay on your back, figure 4, same shape, different relationship to gravity. Follow me if you want to do an arm balance with that same shape. Different relationship to gravity, different balance, challenge, different thing altogether, right? I haven't done it in a really long time, so can't say that I know it's going to go very well. I'm going to go sideways here. So, right foot, left knee comes up, figure 4. Hands to the floor, shoulder width. I'm going to bend my elbows, bring my shin as high up to my armpits as I can on the upper arm, and wrap my left toes around my right leg. Look forward, gaze forward, push the floor away, hug the belly, see if the right foot can lift. From there, can the right thigh pull away? My ankle doesn't love it, so no. Right, try it again. If the right foot comes off the floor, you want to extend the leg back and then up. Whew. And then back to our figure 4. And try the other side, shake that out. So I was wrapping my toes around the arm, my ankle didn't love that. All right, let's try other side. Left foot anchors down. If you're on figure 4 on your back, go to the other side. Figure 4, squat down, hands come down, shoulder width, kicking my foot back to get the arm set. Right shin to the upper arms. Wrap the right toes around the left upper arm. Maybe the left foot lifts. And it extends back and up. Ooh. And then we come back to our figure 4. And release, shake that out. And then how'd that go? My one side didn't go very well. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to be like, oh, I suck. Can't do that pose. I used to be able to do it. It's like, look at the narrative. What shows up? These are beautiful ways in which yoga helps us learn about ourselves. Beautiful ways to see the limiting beliefs that we have, the negative behaviors in our mind, and how our psyche works. You can see my wrist didn't really love that. All right, we're going to make our way to malasana, or garland pose. Big toes together, heels together if you can. As you squat down, knees go wide. Heels come in. I like to bounce a little bit, and then stretch the arms forward, let the head be heavy. Just take some deep breaths here. As you bow inside your thighs, feel the breath channel into the back of your body. Let the breath infuse the back of your body as this reflection of reflecting back. What is the back telling you? What sensations do you have around your spine? What muscle? There are the couple different muscles blend into each other, but think of it as one big muscle, base of the skull to the sacrum. And in those erector spinae group of muscles, where do you feel the most sensation? Is it the same on the right side than the left? Take this information as a means of understanding something deeper, something more esoteric, something more energetic. Is it all at the skull? Is that mental energy, intuition, trusting something greater than yourself? Is it in your neck? how you use your voice, how you express yourself? Is it near the heart? Is it about love and compassion and empathy? Is it near the bottom ribs at the solar plexus, your personal power? Being comfortable in who you are, in your own skin. Is it lower back in the sacrum? Is it relationships, creation, desire, passion, addiction? All of these things help us learn more about ourselves, and then we need to take that information into action. That's what this full moon energy is about. Finding the appropriate amount of action to align with your purpose and be a better benefit to the world. All right, we're gonna lower our seat and pick up the feet. We're rhyming now into boat. Maybe you wanna hold the legs and help to lift the heart. We wanna allow the pelvis to scoop under just a little bit. So we have the sit bones and the tailbone connected, not just the sit bones. But if I'm just on the sit bones, it's much harder and the hip flexors might not love it. So tilt back enough that you feel your tailbone hit the ground as well. And then try to lift the heart from there. There might be a little rounding from the scoop. Fight it with action of the upper back. Maybe one leg goes straight. Maybe both legs go straight. Maybe the arms don't need to be on your legs. Ooh, I lost my balance, right? Relax out of that. Hug yourself. Big breath. Maybe your exhale bows into your chin to chest. 2 more of those. Feel your hips wrap back a bit. Those 3 points connected to the floor. Inhale, extend. Hold. Your arms can go forward. You can hold the legs. I haven't done this in a while either. You do you. What's going to keep you here? What's going to help you feel a little bit more balanced? And then relax, hug the knees, exhale, bow in. All right, one more. Maybe wiggling your toes and fingers keeps you a little bit happier. All right, exhale, lower all the way onto the back. Give your knees a squeeze and a rock side to side. You're almost done, you guys. It's been an intense, fairly fast practice on purpose. All right, let's go right into bridge pose here. Step into your feet, close to the hips, hip width apart. Take a little roll forward and back to feel the neutral pelvic alignment, which is a little bit forward, space between the lower back and the floor. Take the shoulder blades into the spine, lifting the chest and anchoring the upper arm bone on the mat. From here, lift to bridge. How much do you want to lift today? How much energy do you want to hold yourself up with, or grab a block? It's nice to clasp the hands if that's a comfortable thing for you to do, to rock one arm bone more under than the other, keeping the clasp or letting it go from there. And then you can lift higher with that external rotation in the arm. I'm gonna grab a block. If you haven't learned this about me already, I'm super air quality and I talk very fast and things tend to get blurred. And I make up words when I do that. So grab a block if you want it. If you do, notice if it's pushing you into a scoop under, let the sacrum be flat on the block and the pubic bone going forward and maybe even a little down, because that's going to support the back bend and create more back bend. Arms go anywhere. We'll take 5 more breaths. Feel the ground underneath you. The breath moving through you, the opening of the front of your body between hip points to bottom ribs to collarbones. Think of that energetically. The people in my life, my masculine, feminine balance helps decide who I am or find confidence and self-esteem in that person. Or not. The people are either going to help you find that or take you away from that. but it's our responsibility to use those things wisely. From knowing who we are and having our power, we are more able to share love, to find empathy for other people, and also compassion for self and others. That brings us into creating the voice that reflects that confidence and lets us share our gifts and use our voice to be of benefit. I'm sure that's more than 5 breaths. So if you're on a block, lift off and come on down. And then just like we started, left leg long on the mat, scoot your hips to the right. Right knee comes up. We're a little bit different than when we started, and twist. We're going to get there. We're going to end where we started is my point. Okay, so now we shifted our hips to the right to twist left, so our left hip is center. Otherwise, you might feel a little back pain if you didn't shift to the right. Your choice here, different relationship to gravity. Do you want your right leg to go straight and come up to your hand? Here we are again in revolved triangle. Different relationship to gravity. There's no balance to this one. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it better or worse? Gathering information. Same thing applies though as you hold your foot, or if your knee's bent, holding your knee. Same thing, it doesn't matter. Feel your right hip move down, away from the ribs. That would be squaring it when we were standing and moving it back. Right? But just feel it go down. I like if you have right leg straight, flex your left foot and let your left leg still be a strong foundation. If the right knee's bent, you don't really necessarily need that action on the left leg, even though it might still feel good. Let an inhale bring you back to center. Both knees bent, feet on the floor. Bring yourself to center. Right leg long on the mat. Scoot your hips left. Left knee comes up. Twist to the right. Just gonna spin myself around here so that I can benefit here with a straight left leg. Hold any portion, just like when we were standing. Left hip moves down, out of the ribs. Foundation of the right leg can be active, especially if the left leg is straight. Feel how that's beneficial and helpful. Find your breath. I feel like we were on the first side a bit longer, so take 1 more, 2 more. Hug through the belly, coming back to center. Both feet on the mat, knees bent, hips to center. Go ahead now, give the legs a squeeze, a rock side to side. All right, here's where we started. Left leg long on the mat, keep the right knee, flex your left foot. Notice, at the end of practice, does it feel the same or different? If it feels different, how? Want to move it around? Move it around. Does it move more easily? Did we make some change in that right ball and socket of the hip joint today? I'm pretty confident to say, yes, we did. And really take that in. You're an agent of change. You can always make progress. It just takes effort. It takes a lot of things, right? Acceptance, compassion, effort, energy, ambition. That's what this full moon is really accessing in us. Who am I? How do I tend to my needs, my purpose, my desires? And then how does that help me relate to other people and work with other people or be with other people and want in a beneficial way? Switch sides. Flex your right ankle, pull the left knee in. Keep some energy moving through the right leg. Move the left leg around. How does this side feel? So in my body, I notice it definitely feels better than when we first started, but it feels the same asymmetrically to the right side, because we did the same amount of time, roughly, to each pose on each side. All right. Let your body find your final resting pose. Shavasana, legs extended, a little bit wider than the hips. Get the shoulder blades flat under the heart so the upper arm bone gets heavy and out of the chest, letting the heart space be a little brighter. Maybe you want to nurture your lower back and end with feet wide, knees together. Maybe you want to end with legs up the wall or a prop under the legs. Find your best, most comfortable finishing shape and then drop into it. And scan the body for resistance. Scan the mind for resistance. Breathe into those places. How can you fall in love with what is and who you are just as you are right now? And then be the partner to yourself or to the other in a full conscious choice. The only relationship that will complete you is the one with yourself. You're more than welcome to stay in your finishing shape, but if you want to start to sit, take it slowly with a deeper breath, a wiggle of fingers and toes, a stretch that feels good. Full body stretch, feet to hands with the arms up and overhead, wiggle side to side, a hug of the knees. Rising back up, we'll come back to palm over palm on the heart. And if you're in Shavasana or your other shape, you can do this too. Just tune into the light, the love, your intention, and really be kind to yourself as this full moon builds intensity. Move through the emotions that rise the best you can. And a little advice from my therapist. Move your body, change a thought. Big breath into your heart. And exhale, bow in. All right, my friends. Take good care, and I'll see you soon.